I was raised by my grandmother. She was the hated wife of my grandfather. Hated because she couldn't have any other child after she had my mother. My grandfather married 2 other women who gave him children, sons especially. Then my mother got pregnant with me and refused to say who was responsible. Her father disowned her. So you see, I'm a bastard. She sniffled and grinned through her tears. Anyway, she left 3 months after she had me to parts unknown, and we never heard from her again. It was just I and my grandmother. She died 8 years later, leaving me all alone. No one wanted me, not even my grandfather. Rather, he gave me out to these women who come to villages to look for house girls to bring to the city. Practically sold me and collected money. Mma gasped. She could see Helen's suffering evidently on her face and wanted nothing more but to go to her and offer her much needed comfort. But she knew Helen was not accepting any. So I came to the city and started working as a house girl for Madame Gold. She changed my name to Katarina, Kat for short. She said he was too local. Madame Gold was not just a high-class madam who provided celebrities, politicians, head of states and billionaires with what she would rather call escorts. She was more than that. She also provided these men with whatever depraved or perverse cravings they had. Children, orgies, any evil thing you can think of. But what these men did not know was she kept a recording of all their activities. Madame Gold was arrested 2 years ago. She's still in prison up till now, Rose said. Yes, Helen answered. So strange. That didn't jostle my memories. Abayomi loved underage virgins. The younger, the better, and he loved it more when they struggled. He would beat them up. Madame Gold would pay them a hefty amount afterwards to forget. The video you watched was exactly that. I was a helpless house girl in her employ, so my case was easy for her. After that incident, I ran away from her house and got another job. But I could not live a normal life. I would wake up screaming at night from my nightmares. In the daytime, I would get imaginative of the ways I wanted to kill Chief Abayomi. I couldn't get to him. He was so high up there, and I was just a lonely house girl learning to sew. She paused for a while, lost in the past. Tessie quietly walked in, her eyes red and puffy. 5 years down the line, my sewing business was doing fine. I would smile at my customers and try to live a normal life, but I couldn't. Not as far as Abayomi was still alive. So I thought the only way to get to him would be through Madame Gold. I went back to Madame Gold to work for her. After a lengthy discussion where she tried to persuade me to become one of her girls, which I refused, because the thought of letting a man touch me after Abayomi was unbearable. I persuaded her to let me work as her manager. I told her that I was a fashion designer. I could style her girls and manage them. Who better to do the job than someone who already knew about it? She agreed, and I started the work. Chuck did not know how to feel. He understood her more than any other person in the room. He wanted to let her know, but he could feel the all too familiar wall she had put up around her, similar to the one he used to hide behind before he met her. I saw and witnessed the depravity of some men and women and their helpless underage victims. But I didn't report it or say anything. All I cared about was killing the man responsible for destroying my life. Helen looked at Chuck. You see, Chuck, I am not as noble as you think I am. I was selfish. I could have reported. That would have sent Madame Gold to prison sooner and saved a lot of victims. I convinced myself that once I find an evidence against Abayomi, I would report both him and Madame Gold. I thought that if I reported then, without any evidence against Abayomi, he would go free and it would all be for nothing. Chuck watched her, his heart going to her, and the grief he could see plainly on her face. But I had a plan, Helen continued. The plan was to get into Madame Gold's good graces, earn her trust and destroy her and her business, even as I killed Chief, and it worked. I became her favorite staff. I was obedient and honest with money, and before long I was her closest confidant. One day, we were talking about the best men we have ever had, and I said Abayomi, and that I wanted him again. But she said I was too old for him, that she had the next best thing. Thinking I was as perverted as her, she suggested we watch the video you just saw, and then my plans changed. I stole the drive and ran. I had also stolen Abayomi's number from Madame Gold, but I made a mistake. I should have gone straight to the authorities or the media, but instead I sent him the video and told him I was going to destroy him, and then all hell let loose as I began running for my life, both from Abayomi and Madame Gold, because I had also stolen other evidence that would put her away. Assassins were sent to my house several times. When I finally reported to the police, they nearly had me arrested by Abayomi's order. No blog or news outlets would help me. They were so afraid of Abayomi and the prominent men and women in the video. So I thought to run to Benue. I had escaped death too many times, and I became very afraid for my life. Afraid that I would die before I finished what I had started. My plan was to run to Benue and finish there. I was apprehended on my way and brought to Chief. I refused to give up the drive. You see, I have never cared for my life. I would rather die than give up the only thing I had against him. The irony was that the drive was in the purse I carried all along, and they did not know. They took me to an abandoned warehouse. There they tortured the living daylight out of me, that even I became afraid and lied to them that it was in my house. Al took 3 of his men and left to get it, leaving me with just one man to watch me. After they left, the man they left me with thought that raping me could serve as a form of torture too. He released my hands. He probably thought I was too weak to fight, and truly I was. But I saw one of the knives they were torturing me with. While he was busy tearing my clothes apart, I stabbed him and ran with my red purse. I was in the thick forest for almost 2 days before I came upon that community. The rest you all know. Helen began to sob earnestly. Helen, Chuck began. Don't, please. I not only entertained mother for so long, I am a killer. I killed that man with no regret. I would have killed Abayomi and his entire family. I was filled with so much hate. I willingly became Madame Gold's accomplice and witnessed things. There is no redemption for me, please. Don't try to give me one. She ran out of the house. Chuck was about to follow, but Rose stopped him. Chuck, I know you get it, having almost same experience. You also know this is not something you come back from easily. Love conquers all, Mom, Uche said. Yes, give her time to calm down, but not too much. Mom's love was all you needed to heal, and she didn't give you time to reject it. You are right, Rose agreed. She's going to need all the love she can get, no matter how much she thinks she doesn't deserve it. But first, yours is the most important. She needs to know you don't judge her, don't blame her, and still loves her. You do, don't you? Rose asked, staring at Chuck firmly. And suddenly all eyes were trained on him. With all my heart, he answered. Helen sat alone in a rose garden. She did not mean to come here. She wanted to run out of the house, but the house was a maze. So there she was alone, and staring at the beautiful flowers and breathing in the beautiful scent, wanting and needing Chuck's hands around her. It was not right to feel this way, she thought. She might not deserve him, but she loved him, and what wouldn't she give to have him tell her he didn't mind she was a murderer or soiled? She took another deep breath. She had always thought that when she would finally have her vengeance on Chief Abayomi would be her happiest day, and that her life would become normal. But she did not feel joyous or relieved. She felt nothing but regret for the things she had done. It was as if the 3 years she had lost her memory had cured her of her craze for vengeance, healed her of her anger, and had already renewed her from her old self. All she felt now was regret and guilt for the things she had done before she lost her memories. She had a cough behind her and turned. She found Chuck behind her, and her body stiffened from guilt. "May I sit?" he asked. "It's your home. I am the stranger," she answered him. "I got lost on my way out." "Or you were led here by a higher power," he answered, and she scoffed. "I used to come here a lot too when I was younger, to try to forget the brothel I grew up in." "Don't, Chuck. It wasn't the same thing. You were a child raped and forced to sell yourself by my mother. I am sorry, but nothing beats willingly accepting to become almost a pimp. Nothing beats killing someone." "You are right," and came to sit beside her. She moved a little away from him. "Listen, if there is anyone in this whole world who understands what you went through and are going through and how you feel, it's me." He looked at her with a smile. "I was 9 when I was raped. You were 13. After that, I enjoyed every other woman that came to my bed till I was rescued by Rose. I felt like soiled goods for a long time too. Do you have any idea when I stopped feeling that way? When I stopped feeling guilt for enjoying bedding my mother's friends?" he asked. When she turned to look at him fully, there was a reason I did not and could not fall in love with any woman apart from the obvious, my mom. But being raised by Rose cured me of whatever mental or emotional issues I had with my mom. She stared at him, wondering what he was getting at. When I told you and saw no judgment in your eyes, but compassion for what I had gone through, knowing even with the knowledge of my past, you would never leave my side. I wouldn't have, she answered, trembling, and looked into his eyes and saw nothing but compassion. I realized that I didn't want any woman close to me because I was afraid of opening up about my past and being judged. There has always been a part of me that blamed me for not saying no, for not standing up to my mother. I have carried that guilt for a long time, till I met you, opened up to you, and saw no judgment in your eyes. Your compassion healed me. You were a child, Chuck, and so were you. Only you were stronger. You survived alone the only way you could. Let me help you, the way Rose did me, the way you helped me. Nothing else matters to me as far as you give me this chance. Not even that I killed someone, she asked. Especially that. How can I judge you about that when I am itching to resurrect the man so I could kill him again? You uttered in self-defense, and there is no law in heaven or on earth that will hold you guilty for that, Helen. You keep calling me Helen. I am not Helen. Ehi would always have my compassion and heart for being thrown in a situation she didn't ask for and surviving. Pat is my superhero. She was thrown in a raging storm and stood firm and did not drown in it, but rose above it victorious. Pat would always have my respect and admiration. I think I'm beginning to hero worship her. Helen smiled, and her smile lit up his world, and he silently breathed a sigh of relief. But you see, Helen, that compassionate, kind, selfless, happy, tortured hero girl that won my love. She would always have my love forever, no matter what. Helen became still in that moment. He loved her. Even after all this, he loved her and still wanted her. You love me, she said tentatively, with all my heart, every waking moment. Oh, Chuck, I was so afraid that you would see me and hate me as you do your mother. He pulled her closer. My mother and I would get there someday, especially now that she's getting clean. But you're nothing like her. I love you. Never doubt that. We will get through this together. He pulled her to his body, and she did not stiffen, neither did she resist. I love you, Chuck. Right from the first time I saw you playing football on Mma's television. He chuckled. That long? She nodded. Why did you not say anything sooner? You only dated beauty queens and models. How could I have measured up? I wasn't beautiful enough. And most of all, I was worried because I did not know who I was. She smiled at him. In your eyes, I am the most beautiful woman to ever walk this earth. Thank you, Chuck, for loving me, flaws and all. Forever, babe. We are in this forever. Every waking moment of our lives and beyond, she chorused. And they came together in a fierce kiss, pouring all their emotions inside the kiss. Impatient because they couldn't get close enough to each other. Okay, you have a lifetime to do all that, Stanley said, and they reluctantly came apart as Uche, Mma, Rose, and every other person who had arrived walked towards them smiling happily. This is all I have ever wanted, a family of my own. How is it that a girl rejected by her own family, destroyed by the world, could be accepted by? Her voice broke with her sobs and tears of joy. I love you, and you deserve all this and more. He pulled her close for a quick and intense kiss, and they got up to meet their family.
In the still of the night, I think of you. My heart beats with every thought of you.